And this is where I do all my sketching. This is Reason 7 by Propeller Heads. And if I just draw this window down, you've got the SSL mixer here. And if I just, I'll draw up there. This is my piano, a Steinway D from Platinum Pianos by Reason. And it's a beautiful tone. And that's my my little piano that I use. Actually, I'm currently using a Keystation 61 by Audio, which is a great keyboard, but I don't like it because I'm used to a Casio Portable Grand, and these keys are dreadful because they spring back up at you, and when you try, you see you can't play it really. You can't, you know, you're either loud or soft. You know? See that it sounds awful. You know, and this is a note lane, and basically all your MIDI data is here. And if I open this up by double clicking on it, these are all MIDI events. And as you can see from the velocity curve, which is a recording of, which basically records all my keystrokes. Oh my God. I can't play the keyboard at all. I can actually play better than this. This is terrible. And the thing about it is sketching is you've got to preserve the natural dynamics of your instrument. Well, I couldn't possibly preserve this, could I? I mean, you know, it's all over the place. So basically you have to do Command A to highlight all these MIDI events, these little MIDI dots. And then you come up to here, to the end here, and you have to do this. Okay, and oh dear, you see, I can reduce the velocity a bit to, like, you know, it's a bit loud. Let's go down to, you know, 60 or something like that. And they're all the same velocity, so it's dreadful, you know, but you can actually take your pencil by pressing Command, and you get this little pencil, and then you can sort of, you know, you can, oh, I don't like this, you can actually draw, you know, drawing your velocity curves like that, but it's all a bit, there's no bezeling tools in Propeller Heads Reason, and they should have them, you know, so you can kind of like do a bit of a crescendo there and a diminuendo, going back down again, you know, but it's still, I don't like it, you know, I'd want to play like that, you know, and I want to put little variations. It's still too uniform, do you know what I mean? Anyway, so this is a melody that I did this morning, off the top of my head, and I do get up very early and I do that, you know, and I've got the metronome on. You can adjust the volume of the metronome, the level, and it's still got click on it. You can turn that off, and pre is it's a count in, and you play live as well. You see, it's all uniform, horrible, isn't it? It sounds dreadful, you know. It sounded a bit better before, didn't it? That sounds a bit crap there. And the other thing is that I always like to sing my melodies, so I sing, I'm naturally a tenor, so I'm pitched. I used to be a chorister, I used to be a boy soprano, but then my voice broke and now I'm all pitchy. But I still pitch tenor. So I start off, all my themes go from, you know, from concert A. They all hover around concert A, but this I think is in G sharp major. You know, it's quite a dark kind of scale. I could be up to C. No, I did have it in. No, never mind. Anyway, so that's kind of the home key, I think that this is a phrase here. What we have here, we have a rising. I don't know. I'd have to. That's a 4-bar phrase. So you could take your little what you should do is really take your slicer, and I'd come up here, and I'd slice. I'd slice at bar 5, and then it grays out, so you don't have to come back to your cursor, and you can look at that. So that's the first phrase, and then I'd I actually add labels to that. I just sort of put, I don't know, A1, just in case there's a variation A2, you know, so that's A1, so that's my main melody. But you see within this, and this actually sort of goes in a little bit, very briefly, into kind of the method. Within this 4-bar phrase, you see, you have various motifs, don't you? I mean, you have the... Actually, you know, it's quite interesting that now, if that was going to be broken up, you see, that's all one phrase really. But you could break it up, couldn't you? You could have this as a motif, but you'd have to introduce slight variation because you couldn't end there. But anyway, we'll come back to that in a little more detail. I don't really know what I'm talking about on that really. Other people might have some ideas about phrasing. But I want to break this up, you see, into like literally sort of 2-bar phrases, even 1-bar phrases, do you know? Anyway, we'll talk about that later because that's quite interesting on the developmental side of things. So then I'd go on my bezeling tool, and so then I got another phrase, and so on. If you want to get back, I'll just move this down. I want to get back to this. So we've got a 32-bar phrase here, and I got it on a loop. This is all set on a loop. So basically, you just you set your loop. You take your clicker off because it's very annoying to have the clicker on when you review this piece of music at a later stage. So you just go back to the beginning when you press your loop. So it's 32 bars long. You'll notice here that this is the natural breaks. You see, I had a core idea here, which include these two, and then I had another core idea, and then I had another core idea, developed it all the way to the end. Now you must also correct, you know, if notes are early or late, you must also correct that, because there's nothing more annoying than when you come back to a piece to say, oh, that note's early or that note's late. It's kind of irritating and upsetting, you know. So you want to make sure everything is lovely lined up with the metronome, and it should be dead on the metronome. I mean, I think I've got if you come up to window here, and you go down to the tool window, and it'll load the tool window. You'll notice that the quantization, which I got, you know, it quantizes as you record, you know, but it's on the 16th note, so it's quite a good resolution. It's quite a middle road resolution, and you want to make sure everything is, you know, on the beat and tidied up and quantized. Because you might want to export this and put it into notation, and you want to preserve, and the notation has to reflect the MIDI, you know, and you want to preserve all that. And look at the dynamics. Look at this. Oh, I see. Anyway, so you want to do that, and so there we go. That's sketching. There's probably lots of other things. I'll come back to it at other time, and maybe I'll just carry on with this piece of music. I rather like it. It's a bit imitative. Not only imitative of my own work, but I think I hear lots of sort of classical music in there somehow. Imitation, oh dear. You know, but as a sketch, it's not bad really. You know, what's this bit sound like? It hammers out, you know, it's a bit... my dreadful keyboard playing. I just can't get into this keyboard at all. Sounds awful. So anyway, so that's kind of nice, and let's come back to the beginning. So we have a fully realized 32-bar phrased melody line with some structure. We can identify phrases, we can identify motifs within the phrases. Something about musical sentences, which I don't really understand. Anybody want to sort of comment on this. Let's just give it a bit of a roll, shall we? The repeat of the phrase. Variation A2. 4/4 time. No modulation yet. Second position. This is with my dreadful playing. That's a bit peculiar, isn't it? That's very bad. I don't like that. It's too much of a jump. I think we're going chord progressions. A bit strange there. It's a bit truncated phrase. Has this kind of consistent rhythm, sort of swaying. Octave jump. Awful playing, sorry. Sort of coda. Kind of lullaby, isn't it? Yeah, so that's my little sketch, part of my sketching process. As I say, tidy up the dynamics, make sure everything is quantized, make sure everything is on the beat, in case you want to export it as MIDI and bring it into notation, which you should do really at an early stage. And try and get a keyboard which actually you enjoy playing and actually gives you a nice natural rise and fall. Because I play really softly, and you can't play softly on this keyboard. You just have to bang it out, you know. Oh, horrible! I'll have to change all this because I don't like this keyboard whatsoever. It's all right for synthy sounds, but for piano, it's ghastly. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this is my little foray into the world of sketching ideas and producing musical melody lines.